So according to Best Buddies International, in the U.S., across a nation, there are 18 million kids that are diagnosed with a disability right now. And that number was in 2010, so it has risen. Whether these disabilities are physical or mental, they do have a huge impact on how the kids live their lives and day-to-day activities that they try to do. Now, I'm not forcing anything on you guys. I just want you to know that. You can have your own opinions, do what you want, but I am encouraging that you guys maybe change the way you look at kids with disabilities or change the way that you act towards them. Just know that their lives are very tough, and hopefully after this speech you'll understand why I'm doing it. And equality and respect really should be given to anyone. If you don't like somebody, just don't say anything to them. If they have a disability, don't use any bad words towards them or bad names. Just keep everything to yourself and just think about what it's like to be in their shoes. Now, through this speech, I'm going to be talking about the types and causes of disabilities, the lives of those affected, and what you can do here at Franklin High School. Now, in the world today, there are two main types of disabilities, and those are physical and mental. Now, these things can be caused by a variety of different things. A different number of chromosomes in a person's cells, or messages that aren't necessarily getting to their intended destination. Some most common disabilities around the United States are Down syndrome, autism, and OCD. And Down syndrome, for example, is caused by 47 chromosomes in the cell instead of the intended 46. Disorders such as autism are caused when messages from the brain aren't sent to their intended destination in time and aren't received very well. Kids living with disabilities have a very tough life, and I'm about to talk about that right now. So in the world today, there are millions of kids with special needs. I mean, like I said before, 18 million. At Franklin High School, there's an amazing Best Buddies program that helps these kids and their families get through everyday life and really gain some extra friends that they can always lean on. Kids with disabilities, don't look at them any different. They live life just like us. They were at the basketball thing with us the other day on Saturday, and they really do live life to the fullest. I was sitting at lunch the other day with my buddy Keith, who was actually unable to attend, but he was there with some other buddies, and he was talking to me about how he really wished he could have gone, and the other buddies were telling him that they just had the most amazing time and how their favorite part was running through the tunnel at the end. They really thought they were a part of that team. So I just want you guys to know that you have a huge impact on really what those kids did for that day. And it was only an hour out of our day, but to them it was the biggest thing that they could have imagined. At Franklin High School, the Best Buddies program in particular, where you can actually join a group, is fantastic. I've been a part of it for 2 years now. Like I said, my buddy is Keith, and he really just lights up my life. I'll walk into lunch, and I'll sit with him every fourth lunch that I get, and we'll talk about how our days are going. He actually works at Chili's. He rolls silverware there, so we always get a good laugh at that. He tells me just about his everyday life, what he did over the weekend, who he hangs out with, just things like that. He's really into comic books. He likes Hulk a lot. And every time I smile, he gets a smile on his face, which I think is the most amazing thing. And I just wanted to share a quick story with you guys. I was at a Best Buddies event last year, and I just met Keith. I was maybe a month in, and I leaned up against the fence at the Franklin High School. It was a nice Olympics, and I was sitting there and just hanging out. My buddy came up. He's standing there. He looks at me up and down, and he gets like that, and just like that. And I look at him, and I'm like, nice. I like it. So really, I had no idea he was looking at me. I had no idea that he was wondering what I do and checking me out. So I just thought that moment stuck in my head when he was doing the things that I do just to hang out. And that really just shows how big of an impact that you can have on them. The Best Buddies teacher here at Franklin is Miss Conley. So if you guys, I know she's a health teacher with Coach Masto, so if you're interested, you can definitely get involved through Coach. she really does a great job getting everyone who wants to be involved. It is a little too late to get into a buddy group this year, but we are always looking for volunteers at meetings. We have a meeting almost every month, so if you wanted to help and you can work with some of the kids, it's really just a great experience. Get your feet wet if you wanted to do something for next year. So thank you for listening to my speech, and hopefully you guys get involved here at Franklin.